Hi and welcome to the channel. Now today's video is me changing the bulb on this Sony TA70 amplifier. I bought this and the receiver a little while ago now, and the receiver all lights up nicely, but the bulb here wasn't lighting up. It isn't the end of the world, is it? It's just a little bulb, not going to affect the sound or anything like that. But I think it's nice to get it all, so everything that's supposed to light up does light up, so it just finishes it off kind of thing. And that's only a very small bulb. It's a 4.5mm incandescent bulb. A 4mm kind of tube one. I'm going to show you that as the video goes along. I'll take you over to the PC and show you that. And while I had it open, I thought I might as well clean these volume balance controls, etc., as well as these switches here, these input select and mode and I filter switches. Now, I did mention in the video what I used briefly, but I'm just going to show you what I did use in case anyone was interested. I used WD-40 Specialist Contact Cleaner. I had good results with this. Used it on lots of stuff and it's great. So that's what I use for the switches only. This is switch stuff, things that switch like that. Input select switch, all that kind of stuff, where it's a switch. Not a volume control or anything like that. I don't use that on the volume controls. On the volume controls and that, I've been using this Diox Fader F5. That's what I use on that. So yeah, I'm just going to show you that. And that's it. So let's take you over to my PC and show you me dismantling this and changing that bulb and doing that quick service. Okay, so there's the unit on the bench. We're going to replace the bulb and give it a little service while we've got it all open. So first of all, we're going to have to undo all these screws here. There's 4 screws here that's holding on the little feet. We've got 3 screws at the top here that actually holds on the front panel. Once these are undone, the front panel will unclip. And we've got another screw here as well to undo. So once we've undone all them screws there, the unit will pull out from the back. So this is the front down here. It will pull out from the back. This is the back panel. So once we've got it out, we're going to be presented with something like that. And these are quite nice looking transistors here, very dinky, small little transistors here. The output transistors look very nice indeed. And overall, the unit inside was nice and clean. There's not much of a vent here, just a little vent at the back, so not much dust going to get in there. So it's all nice and clean. I checked all the soldering joints, everything like that while I had it out. A nice clean example here, so that's one good thing. So we got it out and we want to find the light. Now the actual light, I haven't took a picture of the front showing you the bulb in it, but it's down here at the front. This is where the switch is as well, down here at the front. So you're going to find a bulb anyway. It's going to be easy enough. You're going to know whereabouts it is by looking at the front panel. So you can have a rough indication of where it's going to be. And there it is there. The bulb is just there. So let's go on to the next one. So I'm going to follow the wires. The bulb is just down here and I'm following the wires. These yellow wires here. Yellow and black, should I say, wires here. They kind of go into this little clip here and come back out. And they actually come up here on the circuit board. So when if you're looking for a different amplifier receiver or something like that, where you change the bulb, just follow the wires and see where it goes. You should be able to find it, by the colours where it goes. And on this particular here, it's actually got lamp written on there, just to give us a bit more of a clue actually. And there's the 2 solder joints there. So I found them now. I just wanted to, there's another picture of it there, just to show it a little bit clearer, and it's got lamp written on it there. So we go over to the next picture. So with it plugged in, be very careful. Obviously, if you're plugging anything in, you're not touching anything else. You've got your meter set up right on volts here. You'd be very careful. Just make sure we've got a voltage going here, that it isn't something else. A fuse hasn't gone to the lamp, because some of the lamps have fuses on. We're going to make sure the fuse hasn't gone and we're actually getting some power to the lamp. So it's the lamp that's at fault and not something else. And here we've got 4.6 volts going to the lamp. So we know the voltage is getting there. Here's the lamp again, just sliding it out. It's just held in. It's been stuck in with kind of like a rubbery kind of glue. So it's just, moving it out the way there. And we've got a little bit of play on the wire actually there. So just to show you, I pulled it out there and a little bit of play on the wire. So now I've unclipped that wire. It was down here. I've unclipped the wire going to the board. So I'm going to unsolder them 2 wires now. And once I've unsoldered, I'm actually going to check on my meter. I'm going to put it on resistance here. The meter's on resistance, and make sure that bulb has gone. It's highly likely now that it has, because we're getting voltage going to it. But we're just going to double check before we order anything. So I've got my meter here on the bulb. I just use these crocodile clips here just to hold the wires on when I take the picture. But it's going to the meter. It's reading open circuit, so we know it's the bulb. I'm going to do a little bit. There's the bulb there before I do anything else. I've undone it now. I've unsoldered it completely. Pulled it out of the unit. I've got all this kind of glue, this rubber glue that was holding the bulb in. I pulled it out of there, and there's the bulb, and we're going to keep that grommet because we're going to need that to put our new bulb in. Just going to measure the bulb, and roughly speaking it's about 4.5mm, but it's probably 4 they class this bulb as, so it's a 4mm, maybe 4.5, but 4mm bulb. And we're going to measure the length as well, because they do these bulbs in different lengths if you can get hold of them. But looking at this, this bulb here, if you do from top to bottom, it's probably about 8, maybe 9mm, but probably 8mm. So that's the length of the bulb. Now, I went on eBay, and this is the nearest I could find, was this bulb here is 4mm, 4.5 volt by the way we need a 4.5 volt, 0.006 amps, that's fine. This bulb here actually measures 11mm, but we've got plenty of play there, plenty of room there on that panel to fit this. It's only an extra 3mm probably, so that's no problem at all. And there's the bulb arriving there, my new bulb. Got plenty of wire on it, which is going to come in handy. I haven't got to add any extra wire to anything. That's going to fit nicely, the wire on there. Oops, skipped one there. So there you go, I've now fitted it. I've cleaned up that grommet a bit. I've fitted it through that grommet, so it's in there nice and tight. I've given it a wiggle, it's not going to move. And then I've soldered. They haven't come up from below the board like they did last time. There's no need to really, because I've managed to re-clip it in there. The wires, you can see, it's a red and black wire this time. You can put them either way round because it's an AC bulb, so it works off of AC. You can go either way round. So red and black kind of goes through. I've clipped it in position, brought it back up here to the board and soldered it on the top there. So that's the bulb replaced. Okay, while I was waiting for the bulb, I thought I was give it a little bit of a quick service, clean the switches, etc. So there's the unit laying down with the face, the front facing me. I'm going to have to undo a load of screws here to get to these controls, because these controls are pretty much concealed, and as well as these switches here. We want to try and clean them all up if we can. So it's pretty much undoing all the screws you can see here I've undone. You're probably going to get something similar on your unit, some screws. You may have some side screws, but on here we've got 2 screws here, 2 at the end here that you can't see. There's one there you can, but one down here hidden behind that button just there. Got screws everywhere. This comes out, the headphone socket comes out, the switch comes out. It doesn't actually come out, the plate comes away from the switch still stays there. The headphone socket still stays there. We can leave these on, these buttons, these little plastic caps. They go through the faceplate hole, so it's no problem. Got to undo these nuts here, and these have all got a little Loctite. Don't usually see that. Here Sonny have got that little bit extra, and make sure these nuts are not going to come undone. They put a bit of Loctite on them, which I don't usually see, especially on something like a budget, bottom of the range kind of item. So once we've done that, as you can see, that faceplate starts coming forward. Like I say, it goes past them plastic caps there on the switches, so it pulls forward. But we're still stuck here. We're still going to get to these switches underneath here. So what I'm going to do here is just see what the next picture is, just to make sure I'm in play. Yep, so there you go, the plates come completely off. And this circuit board here is only held in by 3 screws, one there, one there, and one there. We're just going to get that circuit board out the way. So if I go on to the next picture, there's the front off. I've undone the 3 screws. Once I've undone them, side view here, I can start tilt. This would lay flat normally. I'm just starting to tilt this board upwards. There's plenty of give in the wire, enough give for me to tilt that board upwards. Like so. I've kind of bent it from here. It was laying flat here, and I've bent it overwards like that. So it was laying on these screw holes here, as you can see, flat like that. With the circuit track's facing the camera now, and all I've done is tilted it so I can get in there, like so. So once I get in there, I can actually start cleaning the switches. I'm going to start off with these selector switches here with some switch contact cleaner. Finding a hole to get in, you're finding a space somewhere to get into to get a bit of lubricant in there, and this is an ideal spot here. And as you move this switch backwards and forwards, that hole will open and close up. You'll see that as it goes. It just gives a little bit more. It's hard to tell, even though that one's pushed in, they probably look the same, but there's a little bit more of a gap there. And once you sprayed your switch lubricant in there, just give the switch, keep tapping it backwards and forwards, and move the unit around at different angles, all that kind of stuff to get the lubricant, the switch lubricant, to get in amongst the contacts. Don't just leave it where it is. Tilt it back flat so it gets time to settle in. Up and down with the switch to get the lubricant going round. It's a better picture here probably of the holes we're going to be using to get the lubricant into the switch lubricant, and there we go, there's my straw spraying it in there on one of the switches. And this is what I mean about the board. Just now I tilted it like that, so it went from there and flipped over there. So we're going to do something similar now to get, we'll put it back to where it was. We're going to flick it back over a little bit now to get to the volume control. Here's the volume control, and the rest of our controls are lined up, so we can get our little squirty switch cleaner in here, volume control cleaning in here. Now, by the way, just to let you know that I used switch cleaner, which is WD-40 specialist switch cleaner for the switches, but these are volume controls, and on here I use Deox D5, I think it is, to clean these. I used a deoxit it's called, in it, to clean them, and this is where we're going to go in the little gaps here, and we're going to go across all of them here. It's 4 of them here to go across. You may have to move this board around in different angles and that, and get your straw in there from your squirting can, different angles to get in there, give it a reasonable squirt, get it in there, and as you're squirting it, give them, twiddle them backwards and forwards, tilt the amplifier in different directions, different angles, so it gets well in there and well lubricated. While we've got it open, this is the main switch now. Got back to my WD-40 specialist switch cleaning oil here to clean that switch, so that's going to have a nice good contact. You don't want any switches arcing or anything like that. I did have a Marantz 2216B with an arcing switch, and if you've got an arcing switch, you can kind of hear a buzzing noise, maybe a little bit of bzz, a low bzz out the speakers buzzing, maybe your front panel lights are flickering a little bit, and that's doing your amplifier receiver no good whatsoever. It's spiking and it's going to knock it out eventually. Now we've done pretty much now. I did clean these up. I haven't got a picture of these, but I just used some of that switch cleaner around there, that WD-40 switch cleaner, just to clean these up, and they're quite nice and shiny. You probably can use something else to clean your contacts. You know, these are the inputs, your RCA inputs. Give them nice and clean. So you want a nice clean contact. You may not get every bit of dirt off. You know, these are old, these units now, but you're going to get a lot of it off just to give that better contact. Now I've got a magnetic and ceramic switch here for the phono. So inside, I'm going to look inside the amplifier while I've got it open. There's the switch there. I'm going to spray a little bit of switch cleaner down there and clean that up as well, and get rid of a little bit of this dust here that's accumulated right at the back where one of the vents is. So that's it, pretty much done now. We've changed the bulb and given it a little bit of a service as well, so it's going to sound a lot better than what it did, I think, when that service. Everything's going to be a nice good contact, and we've got that little bulb going as well. So that's it. I'll say thank you for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you all soon.